Gloria worked day and night. From the very morning, she looked after two children. In the evening, she met her husband from work with a hot dinner. She could rest at night, one would say, but no. A very clean woman couldn't stand the dirt around, so she preferred cleaning to sleep. Instead of getting enough sleep, she washed the whole house, and if her husband asked her to rest and at least once not to clean up at night, she would scream at him and break down, because due to lack of sleep, her nerves were stretched to the limit. It's not surprising that soon the husband also moved away from her. Also, he began to come home late from work so as not to see his tense, not listening wife. She doesn't rest at all. She looks like a tortured prisoner, people were saying behind her back. The closest friends learned that her doctor had asked her to reduce physical activity, and they sounded the alarm. It could get worse if left unchecked, they thought, and sent one of them, Molly, to Gloria to scout the situation. But even when she came to the toiler's house with a cake and movie tickets in her hands, Gloria didn't stop scrubbing the floors. Discouraged, Molly volunteered to help her in order to somehow alleviate her needless torment. While Gloria was lulling one of the babies, Molly took out a basket, put clean clothes from the washing machine in it, and went to the balcony. Sorting the wet clothes and putting them on the dryer, she came up with an idea of how to free her friend from the slavery of her own industriousness. She began to lay out the larger and heavier things on one side of the metal grate and the smaller ones on the other. The grate bent further and further from the weight of the wet linen. It bent to the bottom and soon completely fell to the floor, almost breaking in half. At that moment, a friend came out onto the balcony. Gloria threw up her hands in horror and began to pick up clothes from the floor, and then opened her mouth to scold the assistant for being careless about things. But Molly stopped her friend and asked to listen. "You're worried about the dryer because it almost cracked under the weight of things, right? But just think how we and everyone around you are worried about you when you work tirelessly." Molly gently stroked Gloria on the head. "Allow yourself a little rest, because even the most durable piece of iron can't withstand such a huge burden. And you are a fragile and gentle lady, albeit with a little iron and nerves of steel," Molly smiled. Gloria lowered her head and burst into tears, covering her face with her hands. "You're right. It seems to me that I haven't rested for so long that I have forgotten what it feels like. I'm afraid to rest. I'm afraid to lose my grip and hard-working spirit." "If you like work, it's great, and it won't go anywhere. But without rest, it can break you," the friend replied. And 2 hours later, they were sitting in the cinema, leaving the children to their husbands. Since then, Gloria hasn't stopped working, but at least she began to allow herself walks and give herself breaks between hard days, and it noticeably brightened her days. Her relationship with her husband improved, and even children or unwashed dishes no longer caused great stress. Love for work is one of the best qualities in a person, but one must not completely forget about rest, because even the most powerful people need it.